Before Poseidon became ruler of the seas, he was a young god unsure of his place. The Titanomachy, an epic war between the Titans and Olympians, threatened to tear the cosmos apart. Zeus commanded thunderbolts, Hades wielded shadows, but Poseidon fought with only brute strength. Despite his efforts, he felt overshadowed, wondering if he truly had a role beyond being another warrior on the battlefield. The Titans, led by Cronus, were embodiments of the primal forces of nature, immense, ancient, and unyielding. Even as the Olympians fought valiantly, they struggled to match the overwhelming power of their enemies. Poseidon battled on the front lines, but without mastery over the seas, his contributions seemed small. Every victory came at a cost, and each step forward was met with setbacks. Zeus strategized and led with confidence. Hades thrived in the shadows, but Poseidon remained uncertain of how he could turn the tide of war. The turning point came when Zeus ventured into Tartarus and freed the Cyclopes, giant, one-eyed smiths whose craftsmanship was unmatched. In gratitude, the Cyclopes forged 3 divine weapons: a thunderbolt for Zeus, a helm of invisibility for Hades, and a trident for Poseidon. The moment Poseidon grasped the trident, he felt an overwhelming surge of power, a connection to every river, stream, and ocean on Earth. Poseidon realized that he was no longer just a warrior, he was now a force of nature. With the trident in hand, Poseidon returned to the battlefield with newfound purpose. The Titans loomed over him like mountains, but his control over water gave him an edge no one expected. A single strike of the trident summoned floods that swept away legions of Titans. Rivers burst from the earth, drowning enemy reinforcements. Massive tidal waves crashed into the battlefield, forcing the Titans into unfamiliar and chaotic terrain. The Olympians began to gain ground. Zeus hurled lightning from the sky, Hades spread confusion among enemy ranks, and Poseidon reshaped the battlefield. In one decisive battle, the Titans retreated to their stronghold atop Mount Othrys, believing it to be an impregnable sanctuary. But Poseidon, now fully attuned to his powers, summoned the seas from afar. A colossal wave surged over the mountain, shattering the Titans' defenses and scattering their warriors. The tide of war had turned in the Olympians' favor. However, Poseidon soon discovered that wielding such power came with a price. Each time he unleashed the full force of the seas, it weighed heavily on him, not physically but mentally, as if the depths of the ocean pressed against his soul. Worse, the floods and waves that aided the gods also ravaged mortal lands caught in the crossfire. Poseidon began to understand that power was a double-edged sword. Every act of destruction, no matter how necessary, came with consequences. The final battle of the Titanomachy was the fiercest of them all. Cronus, in a desperate attempt to cling to power, unleashed his full fury, hurling mountains, storms, and earthquakes at the Olympians. Poseidon fought alongside Zeus and Hades, knowing this was their last chance to end the war. While Zeus struck from above and Hades attacked from the shadows, Poseidon drove his trident deep into the ground. The earth groaned, splitting open in a massive chasm that swallowed the Titans, dragging them into the abyss of Tartarus. In the end, victory was not won by one god alone, but through the unity of the 3 brothers, each playing their part. With the Titans defeated and imprisoned, the age of the Olympians began. Zeus took the skies and crowned himself king of the gods. Hades claimed dominion over the underworld, and Poseidon was granted control of the seas. At first, Poseidon felt slighted. After all he had done in the war, ruling the oceans seemed like an isolated, distant responsibility. But as time passed, he began to see the truth. The sea was not a punishment. It was a realm as vast and unpredictable as himself, a place where his power could flow freely, unbound by the rules of land or sky. Poseidon's journey had transformed him. Once a warrior uncertain of his purpose, he became a god whose strength shaped the world. The Titanomachy had taught him that power was not just the ability to destroy, it was the wisdom to use that power without losing oneself. Though the Titans were defeated, Poseidon knew conflict would always return. The waves never rested, and neither could he. And so Poseidon ruled the seas, not as an afterthought, but as a god whose influence shaped both gods and mortals alike. His story remains a reminder that true strength lies not just in wielding power, but in understanding who we are and bearing the weight of that power with wisdom.